अच्छा सब्जेक्ट हो सकता है, if you explore it well, वो एस्पेक्ट तो कवर हो गया। आई थिंक इट इज द राइट टाइम आप लोगों को एक प्रॉपर गाइडेंस मिले कि किस तरीके से आप इसको आप कैपिटलाइज करेंगे। पिछले एक साल में हमारे साथ आप लोग जो भी रहे, तो आप इस नॉलेज को, इस सारे एक्सपीरियंस को कैसे कैपिटलाइज करेंगे। आई वुड लाइक कि आप लोग इसको जो है जाने। तो इसके लिए हमारे पास है डॉक्टर सीधी अधिकारी सर। ऑब्वियसली हमारे साथ शुरुआत से ही सर का एक बहुत अच्छा आइडिया था। हमने जब सोसाइटी स्टेब्लिश की थी तब से सर कॉन्टिन्यूसली हमारे साथ है। हमें जब भी गाइडेंस की जरूरत पड़ी, जब भी हमें किसी चीज में जरूरत पड़ी कि हाँ हमें चाहिए गाइडेंस, तो सर हमेशा वहाँ पे थे। थैंक यू सर फॉर बीइंग देयर। एंड नाउ आई थिंक इट्स द टाइम कि हम सोशियोलॉजी की तरफ मूव करें। नाउ आई वुड इनवाइट शुभम भैया to please felicitate sir with the saplings and welcome him to our workshop. Please, cameraman, please click the pictures from this side.
Please clap.
As we all know, C.D. Adhikari sir is a renowned professor in the Department of Sociology. He has been always been teaching us with full enthusiasm. So I would invite sir on the stage now to please guide us and give us great insights into this the career prospects of sociology. That is our main discussion of this third segment of this workshop. So please sir, come up on the stage. Let's welcome sir with a huge round of applause.
Thank you for this opportunity. I think this is the second time I'm here. First time long back, 1 or 2 years back. So, this is a huge burden on me to prove that sociology is still relevant today. So my presentation, the title of my presentation would be Career Choices in Sociology. Before I start in detail, I would rather take these presumptions continuously throughout my presentation. Sociology is by nature very encyclopedic. This has been an allegation against the discipline, and at the same time I believe this is also an advantage. It is encyclopedic in the sense that it crisscrosses the path with many disciplines. Other disciplines say we borrow from them. We rather say we need to know a bit of everything around us so that we can do or practice complete sociology. That is why we love to be encyclopedic in our practice. Okay? It is very popular. Yes, it is very popular. It has been a long established discipline. मजे की बात यह है कि when I took sociology, I took it to appear in civil services. And why I am saying this, उस समय या अभी भी sociology ऑप्ट करने के पीछे UPSC एक कारण हुआ करता था। उस समय मार्क फेचिंग बहुत होता था initially. Then they changed the trend. Suddenly Hindi became a mark fetching subject. Then later on many other subjects, engineering subject became mark fetching subjects. But social science students cannot take engineering subjects, so they stuck to things like sociology, political science, public administration, etc., etc. So it has been a hugely popular subject, not only because of UPSC, but later on it started expanding like anything across all universities in India. I think all educational institutions in India today have some departments or centers that study sociology or sociological derivatives, disciplines which are directly or indirectly related to sociology. Okay? Sociology is a science. This is again the third presumption. We are science by method. We are not science by our subject domain, because we don't study objects, as they call it in science. Because we don't study objects, we study other subjectivities. Therefore, our subject of study cannot be science. However, the method through which we approach these subjects are very much scientific, or at least we try our best to be scientific. That is why we claim that we continue to be a science, albeit a social science. Okay? Now, having said that, is there anything other than science? As you must have been studying from the beginning, the first time you took sociology, that sociology is a science as well as an art. As well as an art. Art part of sociology demands sociological imagination. Science part of sociology demands methodical rigor. And of late, of course, this to qualify this statement, of late there has been a drifting away from methods of science towards methods of subjectivity. That is, from quantitative to qualitative. Increasingly, social scientists, particularly sociologists, they are moving away towards studies and research which are more qualitative in nature. Qualitative in nature. Qualitative nature of study includes methods like ethnography, narratives, content analysis. These are some of the qualitative methods of study that sociologists use. Therefore, we claim to be science, and at the same time, we also keep space for qualitative incorporation of ideas and information. That is the idea. It is a general subject. A general in the sense, the last two presumptions, taken together, suffice this statement. Sociology is a general subject. General subject in the sense, we study topics or subjects, research problems, which are also studied by many other disciplines. So there is lot of convergences between many social sciences. Okay? We study politics, we study economics, we study religion, we study poverty, we study gerontology. So these subjects themselves are subject matters of specific disciplines, and at the same time we study them from a sociological perspective. Therefore, sociology is basically nothing but a sum total of many convergences, and therefore it is a general subject in nature. It doesn't mean that we do not have specific subjects of our study which are incidental only to sociology. We do have, but at a higher level. Initially, it is a general subject. अभी तक ठीक है ना? I'm getting you, I'm reaching you. Okay. Basically, all of us know that sociology is nothing but one line statement. Sociology is the study of society. And society is an umbrella term under which anything and everything under the sun comes in. Okay? We are not only human beings, we are social beings. Being social beings, economics is also part of us, politics is also part of us, power and inequality is also part of us. We have faith systems, we have religion, we have family, we have institutions. So these are topics which we study. And from this basic fundamental things from which we start sociology, studying sociology, then we move on to higher levels of studies. Like say, for example, our relations, inequality, globalization, global order, geopolitics, international order, things like that. Conflict, peace and conflict, these are also nowadays very hot topics of sociological research. Okay. So, this being the case, I think we have proved the point halfway that we are a subject with infinite possibilities. Is our disciplinary boundary is porous, काफ़ी सारे छेद हैं जिसमें कि बहुत सारे डिसिप्लिन से आदान प्रदान होता रहता है. So all the potentials, all the possibilities that are possible in other disciplines can also be possible in sociology. Okay? And this is being said not for somebody who has graduated from sociology, but probably I have in mind a student who pursued sociology not only at UG level, PG level and higher ups, PG and PhDs. After say completing PhD, the zenith, probably we call the student or the person who is studying sociology, a specialist sociologist. Otherwise, just a generalist, you just have sociology as one of the topics, one of the subjects. That doesn't mean much. Okay? So, we are a subject who studies society as a whole. It showed us how we may think our way through the problems confronting us today. Sociology is concerned with how the modern world came into being and what challenges it faces. So, the basic genesis, the basic beginning of sociology lies with social problems. As all of us know, in the 17th and 18th century, when sociology began to emerge as a separate discipline, separate from many other disciplines like philosophy, history, and theology, the primary concern was how to handle or deal with the emerging social problems at that point of time. Problems like breakdown of families, breakdown of institutions, disorder, chaos in society, anarchy, things like that. Okay. Then having said all this, what does sociology teach us as different from other disciplines? I have jotted them down in these following points. All of us may not agree with them. The points are not exhaustive, but at the same time, at least they are representational. Understanding of social structure, culture, power, processes that drive social change. The concern is with social change. In order to understand and direct social change, we try to unmake and make the structure, the social structure in which we live in, the culture which is an integral part of society or social system, powers, the power differentials including inequality, social inequality, and processes that drive social change. So all these taken together, how they are leading to certain change, how they can be led to kind of changes that we desire to achieve. Okay? How to understand the changes that are happening in our life and how to redirect these changes in directions in which we desire. हम जैसा चाहते हैं वैसे बदलाव कैसे ला सकते. Okay? Situate questions with a big picture. As I said, sociology as a subject is encyclopedic in scope. Therefore, we are in a better position, better trained to look at issues and questions in totality. Say for example, the question of power. Political science looks at power from a particular vantage point. Economics may look at power, wealth, capacity from a particular vantage point. Sociology can look at power from all these points taken together. That is what I mean by in a big picture scenario. Situate questions with a big picture scenario. So we can look at the same issues but from a broader perspective, because our training converge or crisscross many disciplines. We are multiply trained, multi-skilled. That is what our claim is. We are multi-skilled people. Then the third point is articulate complex and often hotly conflicted social and political issues. Conflict is again a domain of political science, a domain of defense studies, a domain of warfare, and we also study conflict, but from a different angle. From a different angle. We also seek to understand conflict sociologically and try to not have conflict or have conflict which are productive for the larger society. It might sound little controversial. How to produce conflict? Yes, all conflicts are not dysfunctional. Some conflicts can be functional also. Okay, that is our belief. There is a book by Kojer, The Functions of Conflict. How conflicts can be functional in one context, and the same conflict can be dysfunctional in another context. That is what we are looking at. Bring sensitivity. Yes, all the disciplines claim that they do sensitize their disciples, students, but we talk of sensitivity in a very inclusive way, because we deal with society, a diverse platform, a diverse place, and we deal with bit of many disciplines. Therefore, we come to acquire a kind of worldview or perspective which is very sensitive to differences, cultural differences particularly. Therefore, we are better situated, better located to study intercultural or intercontinental or international problems, because we are more sensitized than others probably to issues of differences and inequality. Okay? Therefore, we not only study the rich, we not only study those who produce wealth, but also study those who do not produce wealth, or why they do not produce wealth. We also, with equal sensitivity and equal empathy, we study the rich as well as the poor. Therefore, no topics in sociology is a tabooed topic. Okay? Some few days back, one of my friend here, is a faculty here, there was a debate. Yeah, how to teach prostitution in class? So, the point is, he or she is trying to look at prostitution as a tabooed topic, something we should not discuss in public. That is something is a ban or a completely forbidden thing in practicing sociology, because we treat every subject with equal sensitivity and equal respect and empathy. That is the point. So, having said all this, the kind of net that we cast, the जाल हम फेंक रहे हैं, that's quite wide. Okay, so we venture into the field of education, academics, with equal immunity, and in the same breath, we venture into media industries, we venture into art and culture industry, if it is an industry, policy making and policy analysis, social justice and advocacy for social justice, civil society, counseling and correction activities, which is justifiably and legally a topic of psychology and psychotherapy, and we can also get into that. We have something to contribute to that also. Okay, and activism, political activism, social activism, all kinds of activity. Again, the list is not exhaustive. There can be many more things. We can venture into science and technology. We can venture into religion. We can venture into entrepreneurship. So many things. The point I'm trying to make is, as a sociology, as a practitioner of sociology, we always have something relevant to contribute to almost all fields under the sun. Okay? Now, I understand those who are here, they are expecting for a career counseling session where We will be more interested to know who will buy us or who will give us job, or what kind of job we are expecting. Okay? Why somebody would take sociology? That is the question you are searching for an answer. Okay? I am coming closer to that. So if you pursue sociology, not only in undergraduate level, but and higher up, you can end up as a social worker. One of the very integral part of applied sociology is social work. We study society and sociology and apply those studies, those theories, those findings in actual situation in the discipline, sub-discipline of social work. What is social work? Social work is something, anything and everything, any endeavor, any effort to address some social problems. To address some social problems and how to come out with an action solution. Action solution. A solution that acts, that works. Okay? That is a very naive definition of social work. There might be more refined definitions of social work, but this is for a beginner, this is enough to say. Social work is all about how to deal with problem and how to come out with a solution that works. It works for the general public. Okay? So social work can be one of the logical choice. You can end up as a social worker, and you have lot of things to contribute in the field of social work. Though social work is a space where multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary people crowd there, they come in there because everybody has something to contribute. But sociology, logically and legitimately, is the discipline where we can contribute the maximum. Okay. And again, social work might not be an attractive career choice because it's not a very highly paying career choice, but it is paying not in terms of money, but in terms of satisfaction, which cannot feed you. But in course of time, because I also happen to be coordinator of social work now, I am getting into more deep into the program. I find that normally the trend is, I have myself also worked in the civil society sector for a long time as a researcher, excellent researcher. So normally the trend is for initial 3-4 years you are not paid very much, but after 5 years you are in a position where you are drawing comparable income, having comparable income with your friends who are in high places in government organizations, like say academics, teachers, civil servants or whatever, officers or whatever. You can see that in a time span of 5 years, you are at par with your friends. Because there is no hard and fast rule, it starts small, but very quickly it gets bigger and bigger. That is the point. Okay, because it is a professional space where things multiply very quickly. That is the only hope. Administrative support, all of us, as I said, one of the craze for sociology was civil services. People used to opt for sociology to qualify in civil services. If you don't qualify, then you start pursuing sociology more and more, because that has been the discipline you have chosen, and later on end up as a faculty in PhD. So you can, all of us, all from all subjects, including sociology, you can get into civil services. And again in civil services, you have a competitive advantage, because your primary training is understanding society, understanding people, and probably with an eye to address their problems. And that is also the primary business of civil services. Therefore, here also you enjoy a competitive advantage. Competitive advantage. Because we study family, we study youth, we study problems, therefore we claim that we are in a better position to understand social problems. Okay? This is a claim, maybe a mythical claim, or actual, I don't know. So therefore, we have a better chance of ending up as a counselor, as a rehabilitation counselor, as a youth counselor, as a family counselor, in correctional homes, in juvenile homes, in old age homes. These are the places for which we are destined for, okay, as a counselor. And this is also a high paying job, not initially, but later on, as you gain experience and expertise over the years, you start flying high. Researcher. This is true of all social sciences and maybe particularly sociology, where the field of research is quite wide, quite diverse. There is nothing under the sun which cannot be studied sociologically, which cannot be studied sociologically. Of course, the questions asked will be very different. A medical science student studying cancer will be asking different questions, and a sociology student studying cancer will be asking different questions. Okay? A sociology student would ask, what are the vulnerabilities that multiply chances of somebody getting cancer? Look at the word vulnerabilities. क्या ऐसे घटनाएं हैं या क्या ऐसे परिस्थितियां हैं जिससे कि किसी का कैंसर होने का चांस को बढ़ा देता है? ठीक है, परिस्थितियां. मेडिकल साइंस स्टूडेंट क्या क्वेश्चन पूछेगा? व्हाट आर द वायरसेस, व्हाट आर द attending conditions, surrounding conditions that can cause cancer. Okay. Similarly, say take science and technology. An engineering student studying a particular technology would be more interested in developing that technology or upgrading that technology in a better way. Sociology student also study the same technology, but the kind of question they ask is how this technology is going to help people, or how it is not going to help people. What is its impact? If this technology, say for example, BT technology, biotechnology, if BT technology is introduced, what will be its impact on farmers' livelihood? This is not a question which a scientist will ask, only a sociologist can ask. Okay? Political science will ask, if BT is introduced, BT cotton is introduced, what kind of power upheavals it may create? What will happen to the multinationals? What will happen to the power of the government? Where does the fund will go? What will be funded by the World Bank? This kind of power relations they will ask. So, why did I do this? Yes. So, we can have research on anything and everything under the sun, of course, which are with our particular set of training and with our particular sociological perspective. Okay. So research is a very hot career option in sociology also. Not only in BHU, many of the students, I find over the years, students who are in touch with me, I tell them, I don't want to see you coming here for PhD. Because this has been the trend. Most of them turn out after doing MA, they have nothing else to do. We'll do PhD. And we'll do PhD only in BHU, not anywhere else. That has been a perennial problem here. Perennial problem. Sky is the limit. The whole world wants you. The whole world wants you. If you do research here, maybe it will be less effective if you do research somewhere else where your taste and interest lies. The point is you have to identify it, maybe with the help of some people or individually. That is the point. If you identify it correctly, where does your interest lies, then there are places which will be the best fit for your interest. It need not be necessarily only BHU, but in BHU also there are varieties of topics. I think around 120 research scholars every year, and every year we around 35 to 40 PhDs pass out on a wholesale, and none of them do research on the same topic. At one time, normally the trend of PhD research was family, women, empowerment. These days, people don't talk about it. Maybe things are getting better. Things are getting better. So we have a robust training in research methodology. That is where our strength lies. We not only use quantitative techniques but also very sympathetically use qualitative techniques also. So we are an art master as well as a scientist. That gives us the skill to do research in a way which is very unique. That happens to be our USP, unique selling proposition. Human resource specialist. We deal in human beings, therefore we are better skilled to deal with human beings in industries, in workplaces also. That is what we call human resource. Somebody who is a resource, somebody who can produce, who doesn't consume, who can multiply wealth. So we are better suited to manage human resource possibilities, human resource problems, managing employees, resolving dispute, trade unionism. These has been our legitimate areas of concern. Trade union, labor relations, management, labor management relation, into management, how to manage people, how to manage hierarchy, how to manage employees, things like that. Policy analysis and advocacy. That is again, all social scientists jump into that. But even if everybody are there, sociology has its space nicked out, has a nick in that. Because we are people with a total perspective, without having specific, narrow, entrenched interest in one particular way of looking at things. Therefore, we are also very much required, very much in demand in space where there is policy analysis, policy making, as well as policy analysis. There are many think tanks, organizations around India, even in India also, and outside, the research organizations who come out periodically about their take on particular policies brought by the government, brought by the state. And normally the trend has been, we tend to act as a critic of the state. We do not, this is the demand of the vocation of all social scientists, that there should be a critique of the state. Like media, mass media, which is supposed to be the critique of the state, academics also should be the critique of the state. And we do not fail in our duty in that. We are very much skilled in critiquing the state, critiquing the policies, critiquing the programs. Mass media again. It is a legitimate concern of journalism. Here also, sociology people has lot of things to offer. Because they are scientists of society. They understand people like none. Media, which is nothing but the mouthpiece of the public, mouthpiece of the society. So here we can grasp the mood, the psychology, and the thinking of the public in a better way. There are many media houses where sociologists have reached the top echelons of their hierarchy. They do documentaries, they report, they are editors, they are in so many roles. Okay. So there also we have a lot of possibility. This is a very randomly copied from here and there list of job names that we can have we can have in future. Okay? Adoption agent. Adoption is again a critical issue in society. Okay? Childless couples trying to adopt legally, and many illegal adoptions are there. So there are many questions of child rights, child abuse, who can adopt, who cannot adopt. Government has its adoption rules. Here sociologists can contribute a lot as an adoption agent. You can end up as an adoption agent. Alcohol and drug case workers. Alcoholics and drug addicts, we also deal with them as a sociologist and as a counselor. Okay? Career counselor, child welfare officer, community organizer, consumer advocate, family guidance case worker. मतलब case worker means kind of counselor. Foster care worker, fundraiser, development officer, gerontologist dealing with the old age, marriage and family therapist. Have you heard of these names? Many of you not. These job descriptions, these fields are not that well developed in our Indian context so far, but still it is coming up in a big way. You can see matrimonial sites. Basically, they are doing the job of sociologists. Matchmaking. पहले पंडित जी जो करते थे अब matrimonial sites कर रहा है. Now, probably in near future, it will be the sociologists will be doing all this. How to do matchmaking. Okay? And that will be a highly paid profession. पंडितों का income देखे हो? Peace program specialist. Again, we are not the only one who talk peace. Political scientists talk peace. Gandhians talk peace. Sociologists also talk peace. Okay? In India, there have been many rebels, Maoists, Naxals. In many pockets, there are many pockets in India which are red corners. And in these red corners, people who are involved in mediation, many of them are renowned sociologists. You must have heard of a name from Hyderabad, University of Hyderabad. I'm forgetting, myself is forgetting. He was a sociologist who was very critical in negotiating with Naxals of Andhra Pradesh. Okay? So that is also an area, very risky area, very tricky terrain. But again, sociology as an empathizer, as a know-all person, can contribute a lot. Okay? In the field of health and medicine, we again have many job possibilities. Healthcare worker, hospital administrator, medical social worker, psychiatric social work. These are the fields in which sociology people can push it. Health educator, public health statistician, rehabilitation counselor, people with disabilities, people with drug addiction, people with deranged youth, misguided youth, so they need counseling. And counseling can be a full-time profession also. Then as I said, with media houses, media industry, editor, correspondent, demographer, exit polls, many of the exit polls must have a sociologist in the board. Why? Because they are not only taking a survey of polling and voting, they are also looking at the equations. Here, voting is just the outcome. The regions lie somewhere else. And who will find out these regions? It is the social scientists and sociologists, particularly. Okay? क्या regions है voting का? Many regions. Caste, region, नातेदारी, बाहुबली. These are all regions, basis of voting in India, unfortunately or fortunately. Then similarly, we can have, you can become a budget analyst, compensation benefit specialist. Compensation is again a very contentious issue. Compensation, insurance compensation, death compensation, uh, disability compensation, accidental compensation. These are very tricky issues. Though they sound very economic, but they are factually not that economic as they are sociological. Okay? There also we can contribute. Survey, consumer survey. All of us do survey. We are so trained in doing survey. Human resource specialist, insurance agent, broker. Would you like to be one? Insurance agent. After doing sociology for so many years, sometimes yes, sometimes yes. LIC के advertisement देखेगा ना? How it projects women independence. That is what we are protagonists of. And if women can be independent through being an LIC agent, why can't we? Why can't we promote it? That is why I said there is no topic in sociology which are taboo topics. We love every topic, everyone, with equal empathy. City planner, data analyst, population specialist, demography, IIPS, geography people, yes, they overcrowd there, but they also have sociologists therein. Okay. Many of my friends are in IIPS. Correction officer, criminologist, parole officer, probation officer, in jails. In jails also we have someone. There are work everywhere for us. Okay? What do we have to do in secret service agents? Why are we there? We can be better informer also. Because we can bring in our understanding of society and people into those jobs. Therefore, we also have equal chance of getting into these areas which are normally not very known. Normally not very known.